Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final third. And today we're going to be reviewing the Premier League Match Week 20 games, seeing how the results have turned out and who's benefited the most. And we will also, at the end of the video, be doing our Premier League Match Week 21 predictions as well. The games are coming thick and fast. You know, the festive period. There's always a lot of games, and we're well over halfway through the season now. And the league table's starting to shape up, and we're starting to find out who's going to be fighting for Europe, who's going to be in the relegation scrap. But before we get into that, Al, do you want to reveal the player from the last video?
Yes, it was Nicholas Anelka. You know, he was a promising youngster back in the day, and don't think he really lived up to the hype he probably was given. So, yeah, that was player. Let us know if you got that.
Very good. By the way, apologies for missing the video last time. I did have something, but I am back this time. Let's just jump straight into the results. We'll go to the first game, and that is Aston Villa v Nottingham Forest. Finished 3-1 Villa's way. They've bounced back from that heavy 4-1 defeat against Arsenal, and back to winning ways. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it was a really important game for Villa, just to show whether, the loss would derail maybe the season or their form. Obviously, it clearly didn't, because they won 3-1. Yes, Nottingham Forest probably not the strongest opponent at the moment. However, you can only face what you're up against, and they absolutely flipping dominated Forest. I watched the game, and oh my god, like the fact that they only scored the first goal at the end of the first half baffles me, because the way they were dominating the possession, you would have thought they were doing a training session, not playing a game, because Forest could not get near them. However, and then in the second half they obviously get a second goal pretty early on. And I think Forest brought one back. And to be fair with Forest, they started to, in the second half, they started to bring it back, Igor Jesus, I think he's a pretty good player. His hold-up play is very good, to be fair to him. And obviously you got players like Elliot Anderson, with the passing ability that he has, which is great. But yeah, on a whole though, absolute domination by Aston Villa, and an amazing goal, may I just say, by Watkins. And just, I know I'm covering everything, but I just wanted the last thing I just wanted to mention. What the fuck was John Victor doing for that third goal? The keeper for Forest.
Yeah.
I know one of you were probably going to mention it. Sorry that I just got ahead on it, but I just wanted to mention it, because when I saw that, yeah, I was just like, what the hell? This guy caught in no man's land. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that.
I mean, we can talk about Forest and how dangerous their situation is. They are 4 points clear of West Ham, but again, with the way the season's going, anyone's able to pick points anywhere. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably say that West Ham don't look like they're going to be picking points anywhere. But again, Wolves look like they're starting to build a bit of a momentum. I mean, Burnley, they're not good either. But again, you can pick up points anywhere in the season. So, is it a dangerous sign for Forest? Can they be dragged into that relegation battle, or are they already in it?
Of course, I say they're in it, because 4 points clear isn't really clear from the relegation battle. Either one of those teams in the relegation scrap right now, apart from Wolves, I'd say, has a chance of leaving that relegation battle. So I do think Nottingham Forest do need to keep an eye out for those teams and make sure they start getting points, because if they start losing games and not getting points or just drawing a lot, then they can easily, West Ham could definitely overtake them in points. But I think for the top 6, top 5, and the relegation battle, no one looks like they want to either be not relegated or either get European football. It's a really weird season, you know what I mean? You look at the top 5, 6 teams that they're just dropping points like crazy, and the same goes for relegation battles as well. Sometimes, Leeds, for example, they were part of the relegation battle. They were quite rough at the start, but now they've been playing really well, so they're starting to get the points. I just think any team could definitely get relegated. It's not a matter of Forest getting relegated. I think any team that's in the bottom half right now can get relegated if they start playing really bad.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, there's from 15th to 20th. Honestly, you don't even know who's going to get relegated of those lot. I mean, even Bournemouth, they're kind of involved in that relegation battle, to be honest, as well. They're not the greatest, they haven't been playing well for a while now, so even they could be dragged into that too. But we'll move on to the next game. The next game is Brighton versus Burnley. Brighton get a 2-0 win. do the job, get a 2-0 win at home, pretty standard. Burnley haven't been very good this season. What are your thoughts on Brighton?
We've said it many times this season with Brighton. They are the most, what was it, consistent. I can't remember what word it is anymore.
Consistently inconsistent team.
But yeah, they have the team and they have the squad to get these kind of wins. However, I don't know. Sometimes I really don't know where their problems lie. Maybe you could argue in the midfield, especially because last season their midfield was very strong because of Baliba, who's obviously this season fallen off a little. Obviously, he's now at AFCON and he's picked up a bit of form, which maybe can help, recover obviously the season's been all right, but in terms of maybe if they're looking to get into Europe or anything like that, then maybe that could help when he comes back. But yeah, like we say, they're just a bit inconsistent at times. Even against West Ham, for example, the fact that they didn't win that game baffles me. Obviously Welbeck with the tried to Panenka the penalty and he got karma for that, the twat. So he deserves that. But Brighton are a good team. They got a good squad. I have heard some murmurs about the manager possibly being under pressure, quite a lot of pressure, and apparently the fans are not the happiest with him per se. And I'm not surprised because under the previous managers, I think they've been way more dominant. And yeah, I think as good as Hertzler is, I don't think they're quite at their peak at the moment. But maybe they just need a few more signings, and that could help. So yeah,
100%. Hassan, we were talking about the relegation scrap. Burnley are well in that, and obviously they were in the relegation zone. They play Man United next, and again, I think Burnley is another team that it looks like, where do they get their next result? What do we think about Burnley?
Yeah, it's looking really tough for them. If I have a look at the next games, they've got obviously us, Man United. So that's going to be a very tough game for them. Or not. I mean, our squad's not looking exactly great. And they do have, I think, Liverpool after that as well. So yeah, it's going to be very tough games for them. So I don't think, and even Tottenham. So yeah, 3 very tough games for Burnley. So yeah, if they get any points from those games, then I say that's a decent result for them. But it's looking like it's going to be very tough matches. So I don't know, to be honest, but I do think that Burnley's well within that, and they will be throughout the whole season. I don't think there'll be a point where they leave that, the bottom 3. I think they'll definitely be in there for the whole season, and they could possibly stay there. I mean, as we said, a lot of promoted teams, they do struggle to stay in Premier League, and Burnley's one of those teams, unfortunately, just don't have enough quality players to stay in the Premier League. Whereas Leeds, you can see they have some good players there. And West Ham, if they potentially, with their new signings, they can definitely have an impact. It could definitely stay up. But yeah, I think with Burnley's looking a bit rough, if I'm being honest, with the next games.
Yeah, you're right. But you mentioned West Ham. Let's move on to the West Ham game. Wolves have beaten and got their first win of the season after 20 games. They actually smashed West Ham 3-0. I think we should just let Al just... Yeah.
Look, first things first, I called it. I had a feeling. Look, I know I didn't predict them to win, but I said so many times to the boys, if Wolves are going to get their first win anywhere, it was going to be against us. However, I did not expect the performance that we put out. Look, I've crashed out too many times this season where this time I don't have the energy to crash out. I'm just going to simply and try as quick as I can get through every point of why we're shit at the moment. First things first is the recruitment / the ownership. The reason we are in the position we are in is all down to the ownership. There's absolutely no direction that they put into the club. We don't really have a sporting director. The recruitment team is fucking useless, right? Sack of shit, right? Because I don't know who's finding these players. I think a perfect example is the 2 recent strikers we just bought, right? And obviously, it's harsh to even say anything about them because they haven't even touched the pitch yet, right? Of course. And you never know with these signings. They could go on to be good. But realistically, with our striker history, most likely going to be fucking shit and leave the club pretty soon, right? And this is a perfect example of how poor our recruitment is, right? Because when, we're in the position that we're in and they're just panic buying players straight away. They're not taking their time to truly look at the options that are out there and, make the right decision. No, they're panic buying, which is the worst thing you can do, especially when you're a club like West Ham who can't spend too much money, right? Even though I did see that we have apparently the ninth most revenue in the league, right? But again, that doesn't matter. If you're panic buying, it's just a waste of money. Another poor, poor example of recruitment, Kilman. Now, I wanted to move on to this man because this man is the main talking point of why we're fucking shit, right? Now, people can blame the manager. You can blame all the players. Of course, the players have to take responsibility because that game, no one. Maybe Ollie Skulls can help and Ariola can hold their hands high or heads high, but everyone else was fucking useless, right? But Kilman, if... Bro, there's certain words I want to use for Kilman, but I cannot use it on this video. Otherwise, this video will get taken down, right? But this man, genuinely, every time I watch him, I just think, how is this guy a footballer? He possesses no footballing ability whatsoever. Genuinely, like I've said it before, but we're better off just having, one of the mannequins they use for the free kicks in the training. I swear to God, chuck that in defense, and it's the same thing, bro. Because this guy. He can't control the ball. He can't clear. He can't clear the ball, and he can't tackle. So what's the fucking point of having him? And what infuriates me more about this is you can blame him, but why the fuck is Nuno picking him every week? Yes, he doesn't have a vast amount of options as centre back, but you have Iro. We literally brought him in from Brighton on loan, and he's seen about 5 minutes on the pitch, bro. What's the fucking point? And there's I think he's gonna go back. There's a potential that the loan's gonna get cancelled and he's gonna go back. And this is obviously because Nuno apparently he doesn't want him because he's not using him. But what's the fucking point? Look, I can forgive you maybe the first few times you play Kilman or the first 2 times you play Kilman, but the fact that you're watching the games, Nuno, week in, week out, and he's costing you games week in, week out, and potentially going to cost you your job, and you carry on playing him. It's incompetence, it's ignorance, and it's stupidity. You're going to lose your job solely because you keep playing this man every week. Look, now, is the answer playing a different centre back going to fix everything? Of course not, right? Because not everything's down to Kilman, and it's not always his fault. Because you look at a perfect example, maybe the Fulham game. He did no wrong. Well, he did no wrong, yet we still lost that game. Why? Because we didn't take our chances going forward, which again, you could look at the attack. Somerville, he's a very frustrating player because as much as I do love him, I think he is a good player, his ability in the final third is fucking non-existent. He's very unselfish, which in my opinion, sometimes you want to see that on your player, but right now, what we need from Somerville is to be a bit more selfish when it comes to taking shots. The amount of positions he gets himself in to take a clear shot and possibly score and just decide to try and pick a player off, it shows that he's very low on confidence. And look, that performance against Wolves just epitomizes how shit we are right now and why we are destined for the championship. Now, there's so much more I could talk about, but we ain't got the time for it, so I'm just going to end it there. That's it. And credit to Wolves as well.
I can feel the frustration just coming through from the screen, and I don't really blame you. It's not looking good at all for West Ham, and like you say, I also mentioned one point before we talk about Wolves a little bit. The fact that you mentioned Kilman, I feel like I've seen this so many times before, that if you make that one signing, that one really good centre-back signing, it could be an unknown name, it could be somebody, listen, it could be anybody really, but if they come in and have a big impact in the defence, it does, it gives off that sense of confidence, right? I'm pretty sure right now West Ham are not confident to play out from the back or even do anything when you have a player like Kilman. Yeah. Unfortunately for him, I don't know what the issue is with him, I'll be honest, it's really weird to see how he goes from a proper Premier League standard centre back against the team he played against today. Very good, consistent. He wasn't setting the world alight, but he was a good player. To see him fall off the way he has, it kind of reminds me of Harry Maguire when he was at his worst at Man United. I don't know, it's a weird one, but I feel like if you make a good centre back signing, it can sort of change your season. You never know. I might be wrong, but I feel like a signing like that can instill confidence. And like we can use the Man United example with Onana and Lamens. Look at how Lamens has instilled confidence in the defence to play out from the back, and how like Onana never did, and we never would play out from the back. We just boot along. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with your point fully. The only problem is it's too late. The damage has been done. The result, the confidence has been shot, and it's too late now. It's too late.
But what
You get
you
what I'm
say
saying?
that
You
there is
can't-
18 games left. There is 18 games left. You have to play, let's say,
We've said
Wolves
this, like,
again.
every
You have to
fucking-
play Burnley again.
I
I
respect
mean, you have to
that.
play Forest. Your next game is
Look,
Forest.
It's true. Of course, it's possible. It is mathematically possible. It's physically possible. Of course, it is. But when you just look at how the club is going, you can't see the hope. Where's the hope? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? Where is it? It's
They need results.
We're in a dark cave at the moment. That's where we're at, and there's no light at the end, bro. And it's very, very
Like
sad.
Nuno at the end of the interview. We need points. We need points. We need points.
Yeah.
I think we get the point, mate. We
it
get the
angers
point.
me because
Yeah.
I don't want to keep blaming. We've gone already. Through Lopetegui, now Graham Potter. I don't want to see a third manager in a one season. So yeah, I hope Nuno can finally realize that he's got to change something, whether it's the tactics, whether it's the formation. Definitely not playing Kilman anymore, but what can you do, bro?
I think it's a case of kind of like United, where the manager is not at fault. He's just not getting backed by the ownership properly, and clearly, the starting 11 for West Ham right now is not ideal. Just like how we United have a problem with our current starting 11, West Ham also got an issue with having the right players. I mean, it's not like you guys have many players at AFCON. I mean, you do have Malik Diouf and yeah.
Honest, we're probably missing big time, especially Wan-Bissaka, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'd say so, but I don't think it will make a night and day difference. I mean, it's not like when he was there, it was making a huge difference. You know what I mean? So, I do feel like there is more required for your team. I feel like a good overhaul.
I feel like let's move on from the West Ham things. I feel like you can just see Ali's frustration talking about West Ham. Let's talk about somebody else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it'll have to be the other team that was in the game. We'll just briefly mention them. I mean, we should mention them more because it is their first win of the season in the league. A convincing 3-0 win. What do you think, Hassan, about Wolves' performance and maybe their prospects and what they can maybe have the great escape? Maybe.
When you look at some of the games for Wolves, they haven't had terrible games. I would say, I think they put up a good fight in a lot of games, but they just can't get results because they just lose the lead straight away. But in this game, clean sheet for them. 3-0 was a very good scoreline as well. And one of the players you have to talk about is Hwang Chan. I mean, what performance from him? I mean, a goal and assist. He's not looked the most confident in Wolves, but in that game he was playing really well. So you got to give credit to him. The whole team in general, from defensive
and Arias
standpoint.
As well. He had a lot of
It's his
pressure
first goal
coming
of the
in to
season.
replace Cunha. Scored a good,
that Mane.
First goal of the season as well.
That Mane kick.
And Mane as well.
Yes.
That finish was top from him, and he's only 18 years old. So
Marapanos has blood on his
cute
hands for
feature.
that one though, because I don't know why the fuck he's giving him so much space.
It's a great finish. The kid looks very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And you got to give credit to Wolves. I mean, first win of the season, a bit too late, but they could definitely get a bit of confidence from that. Definitely start playing better football. Maybe get some results on and about. But I think the relegation, battle for them is kind of set in stone. I think they're going to get relegated still.
Yeah. 100%. They're not in a good position, but you never know. We've seen weirder things happen. But yeah.
True.
Let's move on to the next game. It is Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Arsenal keep on winning, but they made it very difficult, to say the least. They shot themselves in the foot with that first goal. The way Gabriel gave it away, but he did redeem himself. He got the equaliser, and then Mr. Declan Rice, unfortunately for Ali. It's probably nice to see him do well, but it probably hurts as well at the same time because ever since he left West Ham, it hasn't looked good at all. Now, by the way, I'm not trying to aim anything at you. I'm just saying he is a great player, and
I can agree more.
Well, he carried Arsenal through this game. Yeah.
I mean, I'll begin with what you just mentioned. The player you just mentioned, Declan Rice, obviously, a former West Ham player. And I think a lot of people didn't realise before he went into Arsenal how good he was, except for obviously West Ham fans, because we were seeing him week in, week out, and the impact he has. And I think it's quite obvious just by looking at how bad we've become without him and how good Arsenal have become with him. he is easily, at the moment, like top 3 midfielders in the world, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, he is. The way he can like
Big claim.
literally dictate games and just, even get goals, whether it's getting goals, whether it's defending, whether it's making passes, he can do it all. If you don't think he can, you're not watching him. That's simple as that. And that's coming from me. And I've hated on Arsenal all season, right? But I got to give them a big credit, man. They're doing what they need to do to get that title. You say they shot themselves in the foot, but they won the game, and that is the most important thing, right? They can move on from the fact that they, maybe made a mistake or two. They can learn from that and they can move on. But the fact is they haven't lost. In recent time, they haven't lost. So, and I've been the one that has been, week in, week out saying that they'll probably bottle the league. There's still a possibility, but at the moment, they're big favourites to win it, and, fair play. Obviously, we'll talk about City later. They dropped points honestly, yeah, well, we'll talk about that later with City. But yeah, no, it's a good win from Arsenal. What I will say is very resilient from Bournemouth to try to stay in the game. And also, I just wanted to mention how the fuck the ref blew so early when they literally had the ball on the edge of the box.
They're about to put the Slovenians about to put a cross in.
It's just awful, like, bro. That's AFCON type things, bro. What are we doing, bro? With the Premier League, can't be blowing that early, man. But anyway, it's a good performance from Arsenal.
100%. On the Bournemouth side of things, a player came off the bench. Krupi.
Yeah.
Krupi. Yeah, my bad. Krupi. He scored a worldie of a goal. Unbelievable goal, unbelievable strike. Gave them a bit of hope, and near the end of the game, they had a lot of momentum. And obviously, like Al was saying about the ref, he kind of cut that short. I feel like maybe if that cross might have gone in, you never know. Bournemouth could have got that equaliser, but we could talk about the referees. We could talk about Bournemouth themselves. What's up to you, Hassan? I'll leave the stage to you.
I think they're quite unlucky not to get the equaliser, as you said. The ref blowing whistle too early is a disgrace. I mean, we've seen a lot of bad decisions this season already, and it's not a surprise. We could talk about VAR a lot, but I mean, everyone knows how shit it is and how it's just not good enough. I mean, the Premier League should be the best league in the world, and with the best league should be the best refereeing as well. And clearly, the refereeing is nowhere near up to scratch. But I do think they still played a really good game away. I mean, was it at home for them? Yeah, it was at home. So still, good performance from them against, the current leaders right now. And they could have easily won the game or drew. But yeah, I mean, it's against Arsenal. Arsenal doing really well. They have the best form in the league by now. So yeah, I can't really say that Bournemouth, should be worried or anything like that, because they put up a fight and they tried to win the game and they couldn't because things went against them. And yeah, that's what I can say pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's not really much more we can mention about that game. It was a close game, and Arsenal keep on winning and make the league in their favour. But we'll move on to the next game, and it is Leeds versus Manchester United, and it finished a 1-1 draw. Fair result, probably you'd say at the end. Al, what do you think about Leeds' performance, and do you think that maybe they deserve more from the game?
They were very good today, and they've been very good for the last, I'd say 4 or 5 games maybe. They've been very, they're like the turnaround's amazing from them, and they've obviously cleared themselves a bit from the relegation zone now, which is good for them. And to be fair, probably very good for the Premier League, because it's nice to finally see, some of the promoted sides putting up a good fight to stay in the league. Obviously, Sunderland, let's be honest, they're well clear of staying in the league. I don't think there's any chance of them going down. But Leeds are now making a case for themselves to stay up in the league. Obviously not the best start to the season, and there was even, there was very close to probably Daniel Farke getting sacked, but he's turned it around. Fair play to him. And the key man to all this, success in the last 4 or 5 games has got to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously he didn't score today, but he was still very key to the draw, to the result.
Very close, hit the post.
Yeah, as well. That header was insane. Very, very unlucky not to score from that. And Leeds were very good. Also got to give credit to United. I thought it was a very close game. I think anyone could have won that game. If I'm being honest, it was a good game. If I'm being very honest, it was a very good, equal game. Leeds had their chances, Man United had their chances, and at the end of the day, neither of them could get the win over the line. But I think a draw was a very fair, result. If I'm being honest, for both teams, I think it was a fair result. If I'm being honest, but yeah, no, Leeds are looking good, and I think they'll probably stay in the league, and it'll be good to see for them. So yeah,
Not really. I don't like
well,
Leeds, so
yeah,
yeah.
I can
Yeah.
understand that
But
perspective.
Hassan, we can mention the Man United side of things. Do you know what? I'll let you again take center stage and just say
Yeah.
what you want to say.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about, but not as much as some games. Look, I do think it is a good point for us. Leeds are a team that's been unbeaten like 6 games or so. So I wouldn't say it's a terrible result for us. I'd definitely take the point. Seeing as our squad is very shit at this moment in time. Like, I'm not going to complain about it too much. But yeah, it's just, and we could have easily won that game if we have shitty Sesko up front. He's just been proven to be a terrible player for us. Just not confident at all. Not putting out chances. Like, he's getting given good chances here. Like, it's not like it's like a half chance or an impossible angle. Like, these are goals that he should be scoring for a 60-70 million pound player. He should be scoring those goals. That's what frustrates me the most. Like, I know he's 22. He's still very young, but like, I mean, if you're a player of that quality who's being paid that much from the Bundesliga, you should be scoring those goals. Like, Bundesliga is still a good league, still top 5 leagues in Europe, so it should definitely be scoring that goal. And the rest of the team just a bit lackluster. I think Heaven was good, but obviously he was the main reason for the error of Aronson scoring. But yeah, just what can I say, man? Like, there is no creativity at all. Like, Cunha has to go to Casemiro to get the ball and just run with it, because there's no creation whatsoever. You've got Agate, who's too defensive minded. You got Casemiro, who's got no legs. You got Dallo, who's just a clueless. He works hard, but he's not a good player. Shaw has lost his legs. I don't know what else I can say, really. Dorgu looked a bit off. He wasn't good at all. And yeah, I mean, you can't blame the manager. I mean, the players that he's playing on the pitch are not the players that we should be starting, in these Premier League games. And anyone who blames the manager is just missing the whole point of why Man United isn't where it should be at. So yeah, I think there are bigger issues in the club that, Carlos might bring up very soon about the manager and the ownership. But yeah, it's just, I'll take the point, but I know that we could have easily won the game.
100%. We can mention also the fact that Joshua Zirkzee came on and had a massive impact. So
Yes, good
fair
sub.
play to him for that. But as you said, there is a lot of news as we are recording. We are recording late night on the Sunday. Ben Jacobs has just put out this article from TalkSport. Ruben Amorim's future hangs in the balance as senior Manchester United figures unimpressed by latest comments, which were the comments he had post to the game. Amorim upset with a lack of market movement, breakdown in relationship with Wilcox, wanted Ollie Watkins over the summer, and this is a tense situation that is now developing. So you were mentioning Benjamin Sesko, who I still think, I know he's not been good. I feel like a player like him, if he gets a goal, then he'll start to build that confidence. I feel like any striker needs. It's crazy what confidence does for a striker. When you get that first goal, look at Calvert-Lewin. He got that first goal, and then he went on a great run. But look at how he was at Everton. No confidence, injuries, and it just wasn't good for him. He got that first goal for Leeds, and then he built a lot of confidence. I feel like it can be the same thing with Sesko, because I think he did kind of build that up before he got injured the first time. He scored 2 goals, then he got an injury, which set him back, and then he has to come rebuild again. Do you know what I mean? But he did want Ollie Watkins, as per Ben Jacobs. I mean, you see how good Ollie Watkins is for Aston Villa, and you can understand why. Premier League experience, proper goal scorer, knows where the back of the net is, can score any type of goal, and to be honest, we were mentioning it in the summer. Signing a young player like Sesko can be a big mistake for the price tag we signed him for, because I think Watkins is either a similar price or just less.
Below.
I think it would have been like if we would have signed Watkins, maybe they would have signed Sesko. I know he was interested in Newcastle as well. It's a strange one, to be honest with you. But I feel like maybe we did make a mistake signing Sesko, and
I'm with Amrim. I even said as well, like, it is a mistake because we're not here to try to build prospect or anything like that. We need results. Like
The big
we
mistake
finished-
is that we signed just him. If we had signed him and a Watkins, I know
Yeah.
this is
There's too many young
that's a
players
lot
in
of
the
money
team.
on attack. Exactly, too much inexperience, especially in the striker position. I feel like the last proper striker, I mean Ronaldo, obviously, but again that ended quite badly. I feel like Cavani was the one that really inspired me the
Yeah, of
most.
course, yeah.
I know he was on a free transfer. He came in, movement, finishing, everything you'd want from a
He
striker.
didn't need
was
pace.
that
He didn't need pace or physicality. He was just intelligent with his runs. You know what I
It's
mean?
not
We need a player
exactly
like that.
very.
There's not many players like him though anymore, man. It's not.
No, I
course,
agree.
yeah.
I agree 100%. But you know, that's the type of signing we probably need right now. We need someone like a Edison Cavani. I mean, it's
Instant
really
impact,
easy to
man.
say
That's
that.
what we need.
Yeah, we need an experienced striker. It doesn't have to be, flipping. I don't know, Kareem Benzema or something.
What about
I mean,
Osimhen?
that would be an interesting signing, to be honest.
I wouldn't
What
mind
about
that at all,
Osimhen, man?
to be honest.
Yeah,
I thought you guys were interested in Osimhen, weren't you?
yeah, but
I want
Galatasaray, they were
expensive
interested.
wages.
What,
He
what's
wanted to
going
play
on with him
Champions League
now?
football.
He's in
still at
Galatasaray now.
Galatasaray.
isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, his wages were too high. That's why we didn't get him.
Yeah.
wages too high. He wanted to play Champions League football, which he is at Galatasaray.
I mean, to be fair, Benzema,
and yeah,
you could. I don't know. Maybe.
Benzema's an interesting one.
But
Yeah, I don't know,
yeah,
man. It's a strange one, but let's be
Yeah.
honest. It seems like Man United don't want to back Ruben Amorim anyway. Like we said, the
Yeah,
there's
he's
a
going
lot
for
of
another bus,
tension.
man.
Yeah, I feel like I was saying to the boys, if we do not get a result against Burnley, I could see him getting sacked. He won't walk. He confirmed that in his post-match press conference, but it seems like the relationship between the board and him is not good. Now, as United fans, I feel like if we back the manager, or sorry, don't back the manager, we're making a massive mistake because this
I agree.
happens too many times where we see a manager who doesn't get backed correctly get thrown under the bus. I mean, look at the squad, look at the bench. I mean, the only player that could have made a difference and did make a
Xerxes.
difference was Joshua Zirkzee. Malacia hasn't played for a while. Hasn't played well for a while as well. And then the rest of it is just kids. Tyler Fredrickson, both the Fletcher twins, Lacey, Mantato, and Clonky, the centre back. God will. Anyway, yeah,
Conky.
yeah, Conky. I don't have to say that name. Anyway,
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
no depth, and he's starting the best players he possibly can. And people say
There's not much you can do, man.
8 or 9 defensive players. What more do you want him to do?
People
that's
forget
the
we finished
that's the
15th
top
last season.
Quality team he can play. At the
People forget we
current
finished
moment.
15th, and we're 6th place right now. People, if you ask people from last season, at this stage of the Premier League, we'd be in 6th place. They'd be saying you're lying. Like, they wouldn't believe that we're in 6th place right
they
now.
bite your hand off.
They'll be happy. They'll be happy right now. So I don't know why being so ungrateful and blaming Amorim. He's doing the best he can. Like, what do you want him to do? We're gonna let another manager walk out, and it's gonna be another cycle of getting a new manager who wants other players, and we're stuck with the same players from like the Ten Hag era and God knows who else. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man. We need to stay with the same manager and see it through and back him this time. Not just like throw him under the bus and blame it on him. Like, who is Wilcox? And Berardi only knows how to spend money, and Wilcox has only experience at Southampton for like a year or two and calls himself the sporting director. Who is he, man? He doesn't know anything about football.
You know what I mean? And then you've also got the partial owner in Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who apparently knows nothing about football. This was an article I saw.
Lifelong Man United fan. My ass.
Lifelong Man United fan. Listen, we've
Yeah.
talked about Man United and all the problems that they have. The problem
Everyone
is
knows.
now it's the January transfer window, and we need signings. We need it more than ever. I mean, the good news is Bruno Fernandes might be coming back. Kobe Mainoo might be coming back. Harry Maguire, all of these guys. But yeah, we can talk about Man United for absolutely ages. We could probably make a separate video about Manchester United, as there's always something to talk about with Man United. But we got to move on to the next game. And the next game is Everton versus Brentford. Very, very good game. 4-2 to Brentford. Igor Thiago with a hat-trick. Hadn't scored for a long while, but believe it or not, he's on 14 goals this season. Even though he hadn't scored for such a long time. What do we think of Brentford?
They're on a madness right now. I'm pretty sure they're 7th in the league. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, they are.
7th in the league. Which that's Conference League, isn't it? So yeah,
They've got more wins than United and Chelsea.
Yeah, look, bro, they're on a good streak at the moment, and we've talked about. Look, all I'm saying is Me and Carlos may have made one of the worst predictions ever for putting them to get relegated. And now they are 7th in the league.
What did I
Whoa,
tell
whoa,
you?
whoa, whoa, whoa! What happened to Nicholas Fulkrug, man? Come on.
Don't worry about that at the moment, bro. I'm talking about Brentford. And let's talk about Brentford right now, okay? Because that's what we're talking about. And they deserve the credit because 4-2 against Everton, especially at, the new stadium where they've built up some form. They're just playing really good. Igor Thiago has easily replaced Mbuemo and Wissa with ease. He's got, how many goals did you say? Was it 14 goals?
14, yeah.
You clearly can see that they're not missing Mbuemo. They're not missing Mbuemo and Wissa at the moment, and it just, in comparison with when I just talked about West Ham earlier and the recruitment, and even at United and the recruitment, Brentford are the perfect example of how to recruit players. Every time they lose players and sell players, they replace them perfectly for the system, perfectly for the manager. They lost the manager in the summer, and not only did they replace the manager really well, but they didn't even sign a manager. They brought him through the set piece coach. They brought the set piece coach as to manage, and he's doing a fantastic job. Keith Andrews, what a job that man's been doing this season with that team. And yeah, they not only lost Mbuemo and Wissa, but they lost Damsgaard, the captain. Was it? Wait, sorry.
You mean Norgard?
Norgard, sorry,
Yeah.
the captain.
Yeah.
But again, they don't look like they're missing these players whatsoever. I mean, what a performance, though. And even Kevin Schade looks amazing as well. This Kevin Schade and Igor Thiago duo is looking very similar and reminiscent of Wissa and Mbuemo. Maybe not the same style, but the fact that they're, carrying the team is...
Don't forget about
very
Otara,
reminiscent.
who's on
And
international
Ouattara
duty as well.
Of course. But yeah, what a team, Brentford. And Everton, I mean, I don't know what to really say about them. They're just... they're a good team. Maybe they're missing Ndiaye and Gay quite a bit, to be fair. So yeah,
100%. I mean, let's talk about Everton. They are at home and they don't really have a great record at home from what I can see. They're not doing very well. They don't get a lot of wins. Okay, they have had wins there, but I'm pretty sure they lost like 3-0 to Tottenham, 4-2 to Brentford. Grealish got involved with 2 assists. Now, again, he's probably their best player still. But like you said, Iliman Ndiaye and Shrewsbury Hall not being in the team is a massive loss for them. And they are 2 of the players that were really positive and were positive signs about Everton this season. Do we think that they can do this season? They are 12th, they're only 2 points off 6th. 3 points off 6th. So yeah, they're in and amongst that group of teams.
Everton are doing well for the team that they are, and we know Everton's had struggles throughout the years, and I think they're doing pretty well. I mean, at the start of the season, we said that Everton are back, they're gonna get European football, and they still can. To be fair, they're not far off from the 5th spot. So I think if they start to pick up form, actually perform better and get the players back from AFCON, they could definitely start playing good football and start getting the results. But yeah, as you said, at home they haven't proven to have the best record, which is a bit unfortunate for them. But at least the players that weren't scoring when those players left for AFCON are scoring now. Like Barry and Beto, they're scoring goals now. Yeah. So that's good for them because we said Everton has had a striker problem for a long time. So the fact that Barry and Beto are scoring proves that when the players do come back from AFCON, Everton as a team will start playing better and the strikers will get more involved in the game. We said Barry's, as a joke, he should go to the Ballers League and all this stuff just because he's not good enough. But I think he's starting to prove his worth and starting to, score goals now, which is very important for Everton. So yeah, I think if the strikers start doing the job, then Everton could definitely get more points and be in the discussion of getting Champions League football, possibly even Conference League if they start playing good football.
Yeah, I mean, I think their goal really was to avoid relegation. They weren't very good last season.
Yeah, Champions League's too ambition. So long as they don't get relegated, they get.
That's the thing. That's probably that was the ambition at the beginning of the season, to avoid relegation. They probably have avoided relegation. I mean, you never know with the league. But yeah, that's probably their main goal. I think European might be punching a bit above their weight, but you never know. Like you say, you never know. In football, you never know. Let's move on to the next game. It is Newcastle versus Palace, and Palace have been awful lately, haven't they? It's just quite sad to
Yeah.
see they haven't got a win in a while. And convincing 2-0 will win for Newcastle. What do we think about them?
It's pretty clear to see where the problems are at Crystal Palace, and it's the depth. They can't handle playing European football alongside the Premier League, and it's a big problem for a lot of teams in around that kind of, like Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, even you could say Everton, who else? Brighton. These kind of teams cannot handle, the fact that they don't have that luck. Obviously, not all these teams have Europe. It's pretty much just Crystal Palace out of the ones I'm pretty sure that I listed. You see Nottingham Forest as well. They're in Europa League as well. Maybe they shot themselves in the foot getting into the Europa League. Obviously, they disputed legally to get themselves into the Europa League over Crystal Palace. And again, they probably shot themselves in the foot with that because Nottingham Forest is struggling because of it. And now Crystal Palace are clearly struggling because of Conference League. And it's sad to see because they were doing so well at the start. But, the injuries started to kick in and it's really impacting them. Maybe they can make some signings this January to, boost their depth and, help them get through these kind of games. But yeah, they just look like a shadow of their former selves from the start of the season, and I think it's quite clear because it's due to the depth that they have. So yeah, it just looked a bit soulless against Newcastle, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Sorry, guys, my AirPods have run out of charge. But Hassan, do you want to mention the Newcastle side of things?
Yeah, of course. I think as we spoke, Newcastle's strong point has always been in midfield. Bruno Guimaraes has been probably the best player in that game, especially in the first half he was really good. But obviously he got his goal in the 70th minute, so yeah, very crucial for Newcastle. As we've said, scoring goals for them has not been easy. So the fact that they scored two and kept a clean sheet is very good from them. And Malik Chow as well with his goal. He had a bit of a mistake in the previous games. I don't know what game it was against, but so yeah, it's good that he's got his confidence up, kept a clean sheet, and scored the goal. A very crucial player for Newcastle. I mean, he is a new signing, and they're still young players, so he definitely needs all the confidence he can get. So yeah, the more he can, start building that confidence up, the more Newcastle start playing better because they definitely need to work on the defense. Because I think Newcastle are losing a lot of games because of sloppy defending, and the fact they got Chow now and he's now playing really well. So yeah, it's all looking good for them. And I think Miley as well. He's still very young. I think he gave an assist to. Yeah, and to Bruno. Yeah, so the players are all starting to play well now. I do think the attack is a bit lackluster. I didn't really see much. Maybe Murphy was, trying, to create chances and whatever.
To be fair, Wissa did get an assist, but was ruled offside. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. To be fair, but I did want to say as well, Crystal Palace's new signing Johnson did play, Brennan Johnson, but didn't really have much of an impact, I'd say. He's still new to the team. He's not really know the style football. He's not familiar with style football that much, so I guess he needs more time to implement himself in the squad.
100%.
Yeah, I saw that about Crystal Palace fans. They were all mentioning how obviously he did make his debut. They needed someone come in, obviously because of their depth. He's a good player. He has showed that at Forest. He showed that at spells at Tottenham as well. And maybe at Crystal Palace he can reach a certain level. Again, they're still in the Conference League, so they can push to win that. But like we said, the depth is a massive issue. And, at least they have made a signing to help in the attacking midfield position, at least while Sarr is still out with Senegal in the AFCON. So, he'll probably start to gain a bit of momentum, like you say. He hasn't really had enough time to train with the squad. So, yeah, he might pick up a bit of form soon. So, hopefully for at least Crystal Palace's sake, you know what I mean? But let's move on to the next game. And it is a game where it has Brennan Johnson's former club, Tottenham. They drew 1-1 with Sunderland. A good result for Sunderland, maybe a poor one for Tottenham. What do you guys think?
Exactly that. It's a poor one for Tottenham, and if I'm being honest, the performance was not great. And quite frankly, I think, pun intended, it could be pretty dire for Thomas Frank, because it looks like he's probably going to get sacked. Because, yeah, the fans are absolutely outraged and want him out big time. And can you blame them? Not really, because they're playing awfully, if I'm being honest, especially at home, which is the one place you want to actually play well at, where all the fans
13th
are
as
there,
well.
able to watch the team. And yeah, they're 13th. Look, obviously, the Europa League final that they won last season made us believe they would probably have a better season than Man United, and it has not gone that way whatsoever. And I think it just shows the importance of a few things. Well, no, one thing really, but recruitment. It's the recruitment is so important, and when you don't get it right, things like this happen. Bad performances, discourse between the manager and the players, and just a divide, a division between the fans and the manager and the team, really. And they were very lucky not to lose, if I'm being honest. Sunderland, had other chances that they could have scored. And they just hit the woodwork a couple of times, so that's why they didn't get those goals. But yeah, no, Tottenham are not looking good whatsoever. And it would be interesting to see if they do sack Frank and who they bring in, really. But yeah.
It's looking very dire for a lot of clubs and their managers, to be honest with you. Could be a lot of sackings happening over the next month.
Yeah.
But going on to the Sunderland side of things, they have extended their unbeaten run of games. They have looked very good since coming into the Premier League. We said the fact that AFCON having a major impact on them, but they have got two very good results in a row. Draw with Manchester City at home, and then a good draw away at Tottenham as well. Late equaliser as well. So, what do we think that they can they still achieve Europe this season?
I think so. If they bring back the players from AFCON, I think they still have definitely within a chance to get European football. Because before AFCON, they were playing really well, and I think Sunderland's one of the teams that that was seen to be the most suffering after AFCON. Because they have a lot of players that are participating in the tournament. So once they do come back, start the main players. I don't know who from AFCON is left specifically. Just not in my mind right now. But
Wait, no.
Not Adingra. Adingra is actually in the team right now.
Oh, sorry, that's the one he's in the team. I'm thinking about. Don't worry about me.
Left back Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, and might be a centre back they have as well, and a right winger, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a
something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do have a few players missing. I do think once they come back, Sunderland can definitely start having better performances and win games. I think this is a game they could have capitalised on because Tottenham have been quite lackluster recently. So I do think that was a wasted opportunity for them to not win a game. But still good performance from them. The fact that they tried to win and still had the draw away from home, that's very important because I think Sunderland's main issue, we've said for a long time, is the away form, and the fact that they didn't get beaten away from home is a good thing. So if they work on that and build from that, they could definitely start getting results.
100%. They are looking good this season, and they're definitely not in contention for relegation. And they look like they can definitely have a fight for Europe because they are on 30 points. And to be fair, they're not even that far off Champions League places. So, could be a very good season for Sunderland. But let's move on to the next game. It is Fulham versus Liverpool. And that game finished 2-2. Late drama. Liverpool thought they had won it late, but a Reed Worldy had brought it level. What do you guys think on the game?
Yeah, talking about that goal, easily goal of the season for the moment. What a strike! Just what a fucking strike from the guy. Apparently he hasn't is it scored or played in scored in 3 years.
Yeah.
And then he just comes up with that, fucking hell.
Where did he bring that from?
Literally came out from the depths of nothing, bruv. But yeah, let's be fair. I think Liverpool were lucky to even get that second goal. Probably should have been disallowed for offside. But yet again, VAR not doing its job properly. Even though it was semi-automated, still looked a bit dodgy, if I'm being honest, and probably is offside. Even Jamie Carragher himself said that it was offside.
Oh, you're talking about the Wirtz goal?
Yeah, the Wirtz goal.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a good finish from him, but again, it probably was offside. But another player that we do definitely have to talk about for Fulham is Harry Wilson. Now, that player has been on a madness recently. And obviously, Charles, called him the Welsh Messi, and he probably is at the moment. He's absolutely cooking. The finish,
What are you talking
what a
about?
finish.
Messi's the Argentinian Harry Wilson. Come on, man.
Yeah, literally, bro. No, on a real, put some respect on this guy's name, because he is, at the moment, carrying Fulham through games with the finishing and his runs. And it's just, yeah. One thing I will say, the defending on his goal from Liverpool, considering we're talking about Kanai and Van Dijk, who we've, hold highly in terms of centre backs. Yeah, that defending was pretty awful. If I'm being
Parted like
honest.
the Red Sea, mate.
Yeah, and the tactical breakdown that Carragher did on that goal, yeah, it just showed like how well Fulham are structured at the moment and how well Marco Silva's got them playing. Just played straight to the weaknesses of Liverpool, and they got the result. They probably deserved a win, if I'm being honest, but got screwed over, I guess, by VAR on that Wirtz goal. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's also something we didn't think we'd say. Wirtz has more than one goal in the Premier League. It looked like he couldn't get a goal, and now he's getting offside goals. So, even the goals he scored don't count. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Against
he scored an
Wolves as well.
offside goal.
Basically, no goals. Basically,
He scored a goal against the team bottom in the league. Yeah, he's just a fraud, isn't he? He's so bad. I'm joking.
Nah,
Honestly,
he is.
He's playing
Well,
well.
no, let's be honest.
Well. Let's be
Isaac
completely
is,
honest. Maybe the goals he's scoring are a bit dodgy, but
I know Isaac
he's a
probably
good
is
player.
injured, but he's still the worst signing of the season by far.
Yeah.
So.
The strange thing is Ekitike suspended or injured? I'm not sure why Gakpo was playing as striker.
Might be injured.
I'm trying to think.
That was the strange thing. I'm not
Hamstring injury.
why. I mean, I know Isak's injured. He broke his leg. Maybe
Yeah. Ekitike is also
got an
injured.
too.
He's got hamstring injury as well.
Ah, there we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very good to lose your two strikers after spending over 200 million on
Your
both.
signing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It is what it is.
Yeah, listen, Liverpool they haven't looked good this season, really.
Alright, we could talk about Gakpo as well. Doing a Richarlison as well.
Got that late goal. What do you think?
Yeah, doing a Richarlison basically. Took off his shirt and got a taste of his medicine. So, yeah. I'm glad that happened.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, hopefully it was worth it.
But is there any more we can mention? Any highlighted players? I mean, I saw Alisson talking about the goal. I mean, you could see his mouth. Or if you read his lips, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And to be fair, I mean, I don't think any goalkeeper in the world saves that.
Yeah, I think Kirk has been getting a bit of stick as well from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Kirk has been great. Yeah, he's been great since he's come in.
Yeah,
unfortunately, defensively.
Yeah, his crossing is not good as well. Apparently, he just crosses it blindly without looking at any players.
It just doesn't look like a good sign.
Yeah,
I feel like with Liverpool though, when they make these type of signings, you can give them a season and they can perform the next one. I mean, look at Gravenberch. When they signed Gravenberch in the beginning, he didn't play much at all, actually. And the second season, obviously first season under Arne Slot, became one of Liverpool's best players and probably still is one of Liverpool's best players. So, this is what I'm saying with young players. You've got to give them a bit of time. Sometimes they have to adapt to the club and adapt to the system they play. But, not a very good result for Liverpool. We'll move on to the next game. And this is an absolutely fantastic result for Arsenal. Terrible one for Manchester City. City draw 1-1 against a managerless Chelsea, conceding a last-minute winner. Last-minute equaliser from Enzo Fernandez. What do we guys think about Manchester City, and should they start to get worried?
Look, if any team can still win the league in this position, like against Arsenal, it's going to be City, realistically. City's done it time and time again. However,
I just want to mention one thing. Sorry, keep on going. But Gvardiol and Diaz are both injured, and apparently it's not looking good.
Ooh,
yeah, that's not good. Yeah,
that could be
like a season changing thing.
I think if Arsenal don't win the league now, it would be the most embarrassing ball they've had. But I'd be very surprised if they don't win the league from this point going forward. City have not only dropped points this week, but they dropped points last time. Who did they play last time? I can't even remember. But they dropped points last time, I believe.
Sunderland.
Yes. So they dropped points against Sunderland. They've dropped points now. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Like we know, see, they'll probably make like 5 centre back signings now because Vardiol and Diaz are injured. They'll probably
Oil money.
somehow, yeah, you know what I mean. They'll probably somehow sign like another 5 world class centre backs. But yeah, I mean, if they don't address that situation, then yeah, I don't see them being able to uh, come back in the title race. And you never know, maybe Villa have a better chance. I know the gap is the same between Villa and Arsenal and City and Arsenal.
That's crazy.
So you never know. Maybe Villa will be the team to give them more of a challenge. And to be fair, I would love to see it. We'd love to see a new winner of the Premier League. It's been a very, 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 very long time. So yeah, it would be very nice to see. So yeah,
100%. Honestly, let's hope it's not Arsenal. But again, they're in the position to kind of go all the way. They're not far off 50 points. Only 2 points away from that, and they are currently 6 points clear of everybody else. But let's not talk about Arsenal. We've already talked about Arsenal. Let's talk about Chelsea and how they have got a great result at the Etihad, managerless, and with a last-minute equaliser from Enzo Fernandez.
I don't know if I'd say it's a great result for them because I know a friend is a Chelsea fan and he was very gutted at the result, obviously, because he doesn't want Arsenal to win the league. So it's a bit of a bittersweet moment, I think you can say. Because obviously you get a point in the Etihad, which is very good for them, but at the same time you let Arsenal creep up higher up in the table. So it's not looking good for Chelsea fans and any team in London really, apart from Arsenal. As I said to the boys, it is a dark day for non-Arsenal fans, and as much as I hate City, I'd rather they win it because I'm just used to seeing City lift up the trophy. And either way, for me, it what's it called? It delegitimizes all of the Premier League titles because of the 115 charges, but we won't talk about that. You know what I mean? But I do think Chelsea in second half played really well. I think they survived a lot of the attacks from City. I think Badiashile was really good. I think he kept Haaland, at bay, made sure he didn't have any good chances. I think James as well, Reece James, we've spoken about him. He's been very good for Chelsea, and he was very good this game as well. Just the captain's performance right there, just helping to lead this team. But I think Neto looked off it, man. Like he doesn't look confident going forward. Doesn't look dangerous on the attack. Just passes it back. Like I want to see more from him when he's on the wing and attempt a shot at least. But he just passes it back and just zero confidence whatsoever. Even Palmer, I didn't think he
They've got 2 other
played the game
wingers
as
on the
well.
bench. I mean, Garnacho, we can talk about him. He's flipping awful. I mean, he's not even getting game time anymore. And Jamie Gittins is one I feel bad for. Like he's not actually getting any game time.
Bro,
It's looking bad for the wingers.
Honest. Well, except for SACKED.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. But I think the wingers for Chelsea are just not looking good. I will say Andre Santos was really good. He was very good in midfield, very mobile, was good at ball carrying. Hato as well defensively, he was good as well. So they do have good players there. I think Delap also had a few chances at goal. So yeah, but it's just they need to bring a manager in. I do think I think it's Mark Farlane, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a great job. Obviously coming in as assistant coach, you're not very experienced. To get a point in the Etihad for him is very good. We'll see what his future holds for him, but it's looking bright, I guess. Coming into a storm like this and expecting to get a result against City is not easy. And the fact he did that, is very impressive. So yeah, you gotta give credit to him.
Yeah, and obviously, we were talking about the Chelsea manager situation. Leon Rosenau, I think that's how you say his name. He is going to be Chelsea's next manager. Now, what do we think he can achieve from this season, and do you think that there will be much of an improvement? Obviously, we know how good Enzo Maresca is, and I've actually seen if we sack Ruben Amorim, we might actually get Enzo Maresca. What do you think about the Chelsea manager?
I mean, there's not much you can say. We haven't really. He's only been in the French league, so there's not much we can say. But in terms of Premier League pedigree, I mean, I believe Strasbourg are 7th in Ligue 1 at the moment. So I mean, if you look at that, I guess that's not too bad. But yeah, I don't know. We have to really wait and see. From what I've seen, he doesn't look like a very aggressive manager, if you know what I'm saying. Doesn't look like his team talks don't look that. Well, they do look somewhat passionate, but maybe not what you'd really want in your manager. But look, I think it's very harsh to write him off too early. He hasn't even come in yet or done anything, so you got to just wait and see how the results go with him. But obviously, yeah, it's just a mistake all in all getting rid of Maresca. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hassan, we have a very similar situation at Manchester United, and it looks like it could follow down the same path. Having a manager who makes his opinions clear, wants the club to move, make signings, and do things, but it doesn't get backed by the board, and then relationship falls out the window.
Honestly, I'm with the managers here, to be honest, because I think that both Maresca and Amorim are not being backed fully. I think some of the signings that are made with these clubs are not signings that the manager approves of. As we know, for United, a lot of the times it's just PR. They just sign players that they know will bring in revenue and a lot of shirt sales or whatever, not necessarily what the manager wants. So it's not great to see at all, because the manager should be the one who has the voice to, sign the players. He's the one who's playing the football tactics and, knows what he needs from the team. So for a director of football or a board that doesn't exactly know, the ins and outs of football, is deciding signings is ridiculous. Like, the manager should have the final say on these signings, not these people who think they know football and kick out a manager whenever they disagree. Disagreement is going to happen in football. Like, you can't just kick someone out of your workspace just because you don't agree with them. Everyone's going to have differing opinions, but I think at the end of the day, I think the manager should decide what player is good for him, what player is going to suit his style the most. Because I mean, this is kind of like the SACKED situation as well. Like, we know that Amorim wanted Watkins, and I think Watkins would have done better. Whereas I think some signs like Garnacho, maybe even, I don't know. There's so many wingers that they signed. I don't think that the managers decided to go for like 3 or 4 wingers in one transfer window. Yeah, so I think that the club
as well.
Yeah. So I think the club has just done a big mess and not backing the manager properly, and it's just sad to see.
100% agreed with you. But that is it, guys. That is it for the Premier League match week 20 review. Before we go on to the predictions, we will put up the leaderboard, see how that's looking. I'm pretty sure it's looking
like 7
kind of similar.
Yeah, it's pretty much looking similar, except for that Hasn's taking even bigger gap at the top. So yeah.
So that's just how it's looking.
Love to see it.
I got very excited because I predicted the first 2 results of the week, and then I had a stinker after that. But yeah, now let's go on to the predictions. As we said, and how it works, I will read the fixture. You guys give me your prediction, and that is it, really. West Ham versus Nottingham Forest.
2-1 Forest.
I've
gone for 2-1 Forest as well.
I've got a bit positive for West Ham. I probably need to make I'm going, 1-1. Let's just say that, 1-1. Bournemouth versus Tottenham.
1-1.
I'll go for 2-2.
I've gone 1-1 as well. Brentford versus Sunderland.
I've gone 3-1 Brentford.
I've gone for 2-1 Brentford.
I went 2-1 Brentford as well. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa.
I went 3-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa.
3-1 Villa. Everton versus Wolves.
I went 3-2 Everton.
2-1 Everton.
Got 1-1. I feel like Wolves might have built a bit of momentum, could get a result in that game. Fulham versus Chelsea.
2-1 Fulham.
1-1.
2-1 Chelsea. Manchester City versus Brighton.
I've gone 2-1 City.
3-1 City.
3-1 City. Burnley versus Manchester United.
I've gone 2-0 United.
I've gone for 2-1 Man United.
I've gone 2-0 as well. Newcastle versus Leeds.
2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle as well.
2-1 Newcastle as well. I don't want to change it. I can't be bothered, to be honest with you. And Arsenal versus Liverpool.
I've gone 3-0 Arsenal.
I've gone for 3-1 Arsenal.
I've gone 2-1 Arsenal, to be honest.
Mate, they decimated Villa. I think they'll decimate Liverpool.
I don't know. They've had a lot of close
That-
games.
that-
We'll
that-
have to wait and
that's
see.
that's not
We'll have
controversial
to
thing to
wait
say. To be
and
fair,
see.
yeah,
But
You know what
I
I mean?
might be wrong, so we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We have to wait and see. Al, let's go to the quiz. Do you want to pull up the player?
Yes,
For the quiz?
right. Give me a second, it's just gone off. Here we are. The first fact is he won the Premier Liga Midfielder of the Year in 2012-13 while playing for Benfica. The second fact, he was included in the UEFA Champions League squad of the season in 2013-14 after helping Benfica reach the final. Third fact, when he rejoined Chelsea in 2014, he wore the number 21 shirt, the same number he had worn during his breakout spell in Portugal. Fourth fact, he scored only 2 goals during Chelsea's 2014-15 title-winning Premier League season, yet started every league match he was available for. And for the fifth and the final fact, he earned over 40 caps for Serbia, captaining the national team late in his international career. Let us know if you know who that is in the comments below, and of course we will reveal him in the next episode, like always.
I thought you snuck in Amorim for a second.
Who?
I thought you were gonna put Amorim for a second.
Oh no, that's not
I'll
a
just
good
give
one,
you
mate.
that clue. It's not Amorim.
Yeah, I know it's not.
But yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in. Really appreciate your time. Please leave your predictions in the comments below for what you think is going to happen in the midweek games. Let us know your thoughts for the weekend that's just gone as well, the match week 20. But that is it from us. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get notified when we upload videos, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Take care.
See ya.